If you've ever heard that you're an overcompensator, you need to ask the question, is that a good thing? For example, overcompensation means there's an error that you're trying to correct for. Ultimately, that doesn't sound like a good thing, and it really isn't. And in pitching, because it has to be a building up of energy, when we fail to build energy up, when that error occurs, we have to then overcompensate. If you are accepting any overcompensation in your movement as a strength or something to be ignored, that's the Achilles heel that more than likely is going to end your career one day. So I'm going to give you some examples of overcompensators. For example, when we're throwing or pitching on the mound, the first movement is to create energy where we want to go. Then we're going to try to build it up. And to build it up is we're just trying to get it to the ball. So to do that, we have to go through these rotational movements. The first rotational movement is the hip. The first one we're going to fire off into landing. Then we're going to bring in the trunk rotation. We're going to build from the hip rotation to the trunk rotation, then to the arm. So say I fail to create the hip rotation or power it well. Here comes overcompensation. I start to go upstream or to the next segment, and I start to try to make up or overcompensate for that. I'll see a more aggressive glove pull, a more aggressive head swing, and then you see it yanking and dragging and pulling the arm around. You might be able to do that and still get away with still throwing hard or throwing well, but ultimately that's going to lead to an injury, mainly because there's such a problem with injury in this skill. We have a pattern of injury, and that's typically, and the studies show, that's where it's coming from, is where you're having to severely overcompensate for the poor buildup of energy through the kinetic chain.